Hello and welcome. I am Flatcap Callum and I've got no bets for you today because it's all frozen off. I still thought I'd just do a quick little video including a recap of yesterday and just kind of a projection of what the next few days might look like, and we'll do a bit of a rundown of figures. So I'm hoping you were all very, very well on this still cold Saturday. I think it's pretty still cold everywhere. Fortunately, the temperatures do look like they're going to get a little bit better for next week. So just to be super clear, if you want any tips, I haven't got any. I don't think anyone else has got any because it's all frozen off. So unless you want to go further afield, then feel free to do so. All right. So yesterday, how did we do? Well, we had another really good day, which was really helpful. Statistically, the third best profit and loss day for the channel statistics we've had this year. And I know most people seem to have done very well out of it. There was a few cash out debaters, and I completely understand people cashing out on yesterday's bet, particularly so close to Christmas. So yeah, fair play to you if you cashed out and you did all right out of it. As I'll always say on the channel, long term, it doesn't pay to cash out, but there are certain times with certain amounts I can completely understand why it's the sensible thing to do rather than the kind of financial long-term value thing. So we had 25 on yesterday, £288.50 back for the channel, so 263 quid profit. That puts us £400 up for December. So really grand, particularly after November was a right struggle, as those who've been on for a while will know. We had good September and October, we went to November and it just was painful at times. But as you can see, as I keep saying to you, and most of you get this, it's a long-term game. You've got to play the long-term game. So I do lose on more days than I win, and you will go on bad runs, but then we do get days like yesterday. And I'd like to believe that if you've been watching all year, people can see it's not just luck at play here. There is other stuff going on behind the scenes, and there's a lot of work that goes into research to try and put some of these horses together. From a statistical point of view, we are well ahead of kind of where you would expect to be if you were just picking horses blind. Certainly at the prices I'm going for. So let's have a quick spin through. So Southwell, this was a bit of a disappointing one. That ran marginally better than market expectations, but no good. Yoshimi drifted and then went right in before the off, and I thought that maybe that's a good sign of the connections, but didn't run a great race. Final Frontier placed, and then Thahia faded. So pence back on bet 1. Bet 2 is the one that did the damage, the Dundalk special, and I've said to you a number of times, these are hero or zero bets. So sometimes you can get struck out at Dundalk very easily, and sometimes, like yesterday, it looks like some sort of borderline genius work. You just have to keep doing the same thing that I'm doing, and eventually it does click. So 4:30 Stormy entry. That was the one I said if it kind of get before the off and it goes in, that's a good sign. It went down to 9-1, so I was quite keen on that at that point. So yeah, it ran a nice race. It comfortably was beaten into second, but very clear second. So second at 9-1 was the SP, but I know most people won much better, and some were on at 50-1 as well. Then we got 5:30 Is That Love. Surprised me how much that came in, to be honest. That came in at 9-1 and just won on the line. So we had a couple of close finishes there, but that was a nice winner. And then Blackstone Cliff, that had come in, drifted a little bit out, and it was 20-1 was the SP, and it just held on for a photo finish. There are so many times we've seen on this channel where we lose out on a photo finish. Yesterday we had a bit of luck on our side with that. So we had, for the channel, 40-1 place, 22 winner, 33 winner. Going on to the shortest price one that had got backed in at one point to 100-30, went 5-1 as the SP, and didn't really do much. It was 7th. So yeah, at that point, I know some cashed out, and fair dues. As you often will see, the shortest price one is the one that stuffs up the bet. So yeah, frustrating, but as I will always say to you, appreciate what you've got and not what you could have had, because you just do yourself round in riddles and sit there very depressed if all you do is think about how much more could you have won. Just be glad that you did win and you've got what you've got. So yeah, that was bet 2. Then bet three, Kempton. We got the first one placed in second. It went down to 7 runners, but it was second. And then disappointingly, the rest of the meeting got abandoned. And I was quite keen on those. So yeah, it'd be nice to have seen what would have happened, but not to be. So the bet as it was with a place 15-2 and a bunch of non-runners meant it was just marginally profitable. And their bet for this was a write-off, but this is the one where for me, I could have done that differently and I didn't. And yeah, there's a bit of me that's like, what if? But as I said to you, you just can't dwell on these things. But yeah, I could have configured that bet differently, and I didn't. And it is what it is. We will take what we've got. So. As I said, in a really nice place now for the channel. So we'd have to have a pretty terrible last December week for it all to go wrong. So 400 up for December is where we are. For all channel bets since we started, for all sports, we've just for the first time got over the £2,000 profit mark. So currently sat on £2,000 profit for the channel, 31% for all sports. If you take out all the other sports, so mainly the golf that has not gone so well this year, if you're just looking at horse racing bets, stats I've got it here, £5,889.60 on, £8,010.36 back. So currently sat on a profit of 2,120. That's 36%. It's not the highest point we've been, but it's a really nice place to be. And hopefully people can see, as much as 100% people will kind of say, well, using a Sky Bet account you're going to get a higher profit and loss. 100% that will help, but in the last few weeks when we've hit some of these nice winners and we've hit our nice win trebles, that's got nothing to do with a Sky Bet account. So it's not just because just having a Sky Bet account wouldn't put you 36% profit. You've got to pick the right horses and put them in the right bet configurations. So yeah, figures are really helpful and healthy. And then I did want to do a shout out as well. So a shout out to Shane. So yesterday he put a horse. It was last, right? So the result wasn't good, but absolutely it was a brilliant bet. And I encourage any other people, if they see those things, to share them on the channel. I'm not watching the markets in the daytime anymore, so it's not that these things I can't see. So it was a horse running, and it got to 200 to 1 on Bet365. It was about 125, 150 most other places, paying 4 places. Bet365 in their side market had it 180 to 1 for 6 places. It was a 14 runner race. So if you're actually looking from a handicap point of view, it's a 14 runner race. Therefore, what are the chances 3 and 7 of it placing if you said they were all on the same level playing field? And if you look at the horse, it wasn't a complete write-off horse. It did have some level of form. So it could well have run into places. The previous run, it had run 6th at 150 to 1. So 180s paying 6 places was an absolutely brilliant bet for value. It didn't work yesterday because the horse was last. But those sorts of things, when you've got horses that have got potential and you actually do the maths of what's their percentage chance of placing, it was a really, really good bet. So thank you, Shane, for flagging it, even though it wasn't working out yesterday. Cool. And then in some respects, today being a washout is no bad thing, I think. Particularly after a nice day, because it doesn't tempt people to fritter away money. It means that you now can go and use that money for Christmas or whatever. And I know that for some, horse racing is a really positive distraction. For others, it can be a real negative distraction on kind of family life and stuff. So having a washout Saturday just before Christmas might not be a bad thing for some. It will be for others. So yeah, hopefully for those people who are normally a little bit distracted, they can be a bit focused on whatever Christmas stuff's happening today. And yeah, all right. And then finally, projections. So tomorrow we look like we've got Wolverhampton, possibly some Irish meetings, but they're in the balance. And then because they've added in additional meetings and rescheduled meetings, it looks like actually Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week might have a few opportunities. So we'll have to see. A reminder, the schedule is I'm altering the schedule for next week for Christmas. So I'll do the Sunday morning video like normal tomorrow, but I will also have 2 videos on Monday. So Monday morning for Monday selections and Monday night for Tuesday selections. I don't usually make videos on a Monday anymore, but it'll be Monday morning and Monday night, and then it'll be Tuesday night and Wednesday night. So it's so almost almost sort of normal schedule with the addition of Monday. So I'll be covering all racing next week up until the Christmas break, and then we'll be back after the Christmas break, as I've kind of trailed a few times for Bonanza week. So there's going to be four really lovely days, a little gap, and then 2 really nice days. So we'll see how that is. And then finally, a mention on the darts. Oh, it didn't go our way yesterday. So the 2 biggies in the sectional bets both got beat last night. Nathan Rafferty, I think the nerves got to him. Michael Smith clearly was playing well and beaten comfortably. Nathan Rafferty had 10 shots on a double and didn't hit any of them. So he clearly was slightly overawed by the situation. So yeah, the better player won. And then Beau Greaves played decent enough, but she didn't play well enough to win the match. So we've lost both our biggies out of the sectional bet, but the sectional bet still got 3 players in. So we will see how that progresses. Okay, that is me. Enjoy your Saturday. I'll see you tomorrow for whatever we've got to play with. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.